What's going on, family? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Wednesday, August 25th, 2021. Brian Scarborough, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you so much for tuning in. I hope you're doing well so far this week. I know there's a lot going on in the world. Um, a lot of that diversion stuff that I was talking about earlier this week. Yeah, we saw the FDA go ahead and approve the jab and all this stuff. So what? They were gonna approve it. It was never not gonna get approved. I mean, come on, we gotta stop. Like, yeah, dark energy is gonna keep doubling down, doubling down, doubling down. It's just gonna happen. But you know what that means? That means that the light's gonna keep doubling down, doubling down, doubling down too. And you know what? Fuck that shit. Like, do what feels right to you right now. Like, it doesn't matter what other people are doing. It doesn't matter what other people approve. Do what you want to approve in your own life. We're going to see that moon in Aries with Chiron today. It's going to oppose Venus. We're seeing Venus and Chiron in opposition. And yeah, we're seeing Mercury finally come off the opposition to Neptune. So there's going to be some more clarity around your own direction. Like, you don't have to give in to whatever the narrative is and whatever the fear is or whatever the chaos is. Like, so what? Like, that was all going to happen anyways. And the FDA, so what? The FDA has approved so many things that have not been good for the human body. This isn't news. This isn't like, you know, something crazy. Like, it just is what it is. Like, the list is deep with the FDA. They've been putting fluoride in water for years. Alcohol, cigarettes. I mean, those are all FDA approved stuff. Like, come on. GMO foods. I mean, the list is just deep. Like, who cares? This is where you find that balance in your life to do the things that feel right to you. And you know what? So what if other people look at you weird or think you're weird? Like, it's not about other people. It's about you. And it's about you choosing to live the life that you want to live right now. And really, the whole thing about the jab anyways isn't even about health. Nobody cares about your health. Nobody does. And everybody that's pushing that, they don't care. It's about more than that. It's about segregation at this point. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. So, a little ranty here in the beginning, but I've had a lot of people tripping, and like, I've been seeing people so worried and scared, and like, it is not time to be scared. Like, this is a time with the moon in Aries on Chiron. Like, your greatest gift is your strength, like your wisdom, your definition of who you are. Like, grab that stuff today. Like, that's where you're going to connect with the right people. That's where you're going to connect with the beauty. That's where you're going to make, big decisions for yourself, and who you're keeping in your life, and who you're not. And it's okay, but we want to keep love in our life, but we also got to keep our definition of what our self is. Like, self identification is so important. So don't go into that stuff. I mean, this whole pandemic got kicked off with a Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and here we are with Mercury opposing that Pisces and that Neptune. And we're seeing that stuff. Like, it's just a double down. It's good. It gives us a chance to double down on our own definition of the reality we want to keep. So don't, it's not a time to be scared. It's time to stand up and fight for yourself. Anyways, just wanted to get that out there first thing, because a lot of people are tripping and worried, and yes, there's heavy energy going on right now, but come on, we gotta start finding our own wholesomeness here with Virgo season, and we're gonna see that sun at 2 degrees for most of the day. Like, really feeling into our wholesomeness, feeling into the changes we can make. There's a lot of reality-based stuff. Been talking about that with Virgo. Like, this is where you gotta have that, like, definition of the reality that you want to make with Mars here and Mercury coming off the opposition to Neptune. It's much more clear now. But, it's really nice that we're getting that moon in Chiron. Like, it's kind of heavy. Like, yeah, we're going to be feeling like a lot of areas of our life that we have to look at very deeply in our own, essence of who we are, and, follow through with that essence, follow through with those instincts. And it's opposing Venus in Libra. It's that strong Venus that's going to oppose Chiron tomorrow. There sure are a lot of reflection out there. I mean, there sure is a lot of this and a lot of that and a lot of things to figure out and a lot of choices to make for beauty. But, I mean, we have to remember love too. Venus is the planet of love. Like, we have to find a middle ground here to still be acceptant of like other people's journey, other people's choices. That's important. It's just more important to focus on your choice, your definition, and find the beauty in that, and then connect it with people instead of pointing the finger like this, and this because of this, and this. Like, we got to take some responsibility with the moon on Chiron. We got to take responsibility for ourselves. And like that's where healing's at today. So the more you can look at yourself and identify with whatever you're seeing in the reflection of the world and identify that piece of that with you and how you can make yourself better, how you can be stronger, how you can rise up, those are the things that are going to really help. Those are going to be a benefit to you. And we are going to see the quincunx to Mars in Virgo with that moon. So it's like, yeah, we've had to deal with a quincunx to the sun yesterday, a quincunx to Mars. There are a lot of our defining energies here, and we have the moon in our most, defining of signs, which is Aries. So those definitive actions and how you find your own wholesomeness through the reflection in others is pretty important today. And I think that the fog gets lifted a little bit, so it's easier to, not feel all the sensitivities or not get lost in the sensitivities, but it's still sensitive with Chiron there, but like these can be empowering sensitivities to where you get to like really make a big choice, especially with the opposition of Venus. Like you get to choose love or fear or courage and strength. So where do you want to go? What reflection do you want to see? What's going to bring more balance and beauty into your life? Is it love and strength, or is it fear and pointing the finger and not taking responsibility for yourself and using something else outside of you as, oh, this is the reason? Like, no, we got to own up and and do these things. So it's like this is a big day of grabbing that courage, I think, and like, wow, there's so much wisdom that can be in that courage and so much growth and strength that we can all come to find, and we can find a lot of beauty and love. But it's definitely by owning things. It's owning up to yourself and the decisions that you're willing to make right now. Like, sure, we're seeing reality shift left, right, and center, but this is a great time. Like, yeah, okay, dark might be doubling down on things, and there's probably going to be more restriction and more segregation to come. But we don't have to play in that game. So this is a big choice day of like, all right, like I see what is going on, and I'm not going to choose to do that. I'm not going to live in that world. Like, I'm not going to give it my attention. I'm going to start focusing on the tribe, the people that want to go into a world based around love and connection. And this is like, let's go. Let's do that. We're going to see Mercury start to trine Pluto now that it's done with the opposition to Neptune. So, seeing through the fog and really purifying for the wholesomeness of the life that you want to live and feeling into those emotions and acting from a place of courage and strength are really what is going to give you such a strong mental transformation, like a strong mental, like, okay, let's go expand and explore with this part of reality, with these structures. It's good. We're all getting our hand forced one way or another, but it's a good forcing if you kind of like peel back and get objective after these two big full moons in Aquarius. Like, get objective about it and peel back. This is good. There's people all over the place having to change their life. There's people that don't want to get the jab, that are doctors, police officers, firefighters, nurses, all these people, they're having to switch their life up too. But that's great because guess what? We're going to need those people in the new world. And they're not going to have to be based around that, like, that essence of society any longer. We're going to find out new ways and we're all going to connect. So there's positives. It's really not worth like just looking at the negative of everything. Like, there's definitely positives out there. So it's by looking at those positives and doing the things necessary to bring that beauty and love into your life that you're going to start to see those play out more and more. So, yeah, it's good. We're seeing Black Moon Lilith at 13 degrees. The moon's going to make a nice sextile to that. There's powerful decisions. There's information out there. What are we going to do with the information that meets with where we're trying to take our own personal lives, our own direction, and hopefully link that up with a bigger purpose and express those things? It's definitely a time to express. North Node Gemini, like, got to put truth out there, got to talk about things. Like, this wasn't necessarily like a normal horoscope. I brought up some of the other stuff, but it's like, we got to talk about these things. You don't want to hide things in the dark right now. The light really is the ability to express yourself, express what you want, especially with the moon in Aries. What do you want? Express it, talk about it, bring these things out. That's where we're going to see healing today with the moon on Chiron, is expressing your individual direction. Because other people feel the same, some people don't. There's a lot of splitting, but that's fine. It's meant to be that way right now, so that individuals that want to create something more for reality and something different, as we're at this closing out of the age of Pisces, we're not quite there yet. We kind of just have to jump to the other side and see what's over there. Like, we can't like dilly daddle around in between. So powerful day, powerful day to connect, powerful day to express, to really define life for yourself, and to see who wants to define in that direction with you. And maybe people will, maybe people won't. That's not really, that shouldn't be of your concern. Your concern should be of what feels the most pure and wholesome, and what's going to bring, order to your life right now, and not so much all this other stuff. So hopefully we're going to see the moon make a nice aspect to Saturn early in the morning, and then it's kind of floating around that midpoint sextile of Jupiter and Saturn. Like, there's definitely big decisions, there's big doors that can be opened, but it's through unique, experiments that you can do with your own life, and connecting to those people, and putting yourself out there, putting your truth out there, putting, your wisdom out there as well, especially with the moon on Chiron. So we're seeing these choices, which area of life do we want to go into? Do we want to go into the old? Do we want to go into the new? How do we define that for ourselves? How do we take action for it? How do we do those changes? It's very real. It's not, it's not make believe. Although one could say we live in a hologram. I tend to believe that. I tend to believe we live in a dream, God's dream. But we're all here to act out a role in that dream, and this is where it's like, okay, time to really define your role, pick that way, and do it. Like, you've seen enough about the mission, you've seen enough about the identity that you're meant to keep right now. Like, don't go back into the old now. Like, it's not why you came here. Maybe it is. It's not my job to tell you what you came here to do or what you didn't come here to do, but this is how I channel the astrology. Maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't, And with Mercury trine Pluto, it's like we could all be getting a mental transformation of like that big mission, and how to purify and make changes, so that we have like this really powerful understanding into what is going to make our world, our individual worlds, have more order, and bring things together in a wholesome manner, so that we can connect and not segregate. We're seeing Uranus at these degrees that it was at in Taurus last time in the 1930s. Saw a lot of segregation with Hitler and the Jews. And are we really going to live through that again? Or are we going to start to open up with more love and see that love is the thing that's being attacked the hardest right now? How do we bridge that gap with this opposition to Venus, with the moon, and with Chiron, and to, identify with the strength and courage it takes to still love people in this time of a great split? We'll see what the card has to say. Don't trip, though. This is not a time to trip. Like, sure, we all have decisions to make. We all have a lot to figure out in our own personal life, but you can't combat chaos with chaos. You gotta bring some sort of order to that chaos. And that starts with your personal life and how you identify. Queen of Wands. Yeah, the love is everything right now. The more that you're willing to sit on that throne of love, make those decisions and delegate life based on what's going to bring strength and love and that regalness into your life, like, that's super important. That's where we're going to see the great expanse and the great connections. If we're not going to sit on the throne of love, we're going to sit on the throne of fear at this point, and that is not a throne that I want to sit on. Hopefully you don't either, but there's beauty out there. It's a great card. You know, it always has the sunflower in it and the lion. Gotta grab that strength and love, right? That was like a big point of this horoscope, and that card definitely says that's how we want to lead. You know, we want to lead by the example of love. And that's what's going to make the greatest changes in our life. And today's a good day to see reflections, to see what's going on, but to choose love. That's going to be the greatest empowerment and the greatest way to define the directions that you want to take in life is by harnessing that energy. I love you all so much. I do hope you have a great, great Wednesday, and I will see you for tomorrow's horoscope. Mañana. Peace.